$800 million loan facility from the World Bank. We've known that it is a loan. So what is this clarification? I really don't understand where that is. There needs to be more clarification on this. But I think really the bone of contention also is that 70 billion naira that was allocated to lawmakers for what? Buying furniture and repairing their furniture. They're saying that the money is not going to go into their
the new lawmakers.
I mean, this is I think that's even worse for me, because I saw a story in Borno State that the governor, Babagana Zulum, had gone into a general hospital in Gwaza in his state and found that there was no electricity in that hospital. Now, that provision, that breakdown, was there any palliative for these types of... I mean, this is what we need. This is a palliative that we need in the hospital. We need generators. We need all of that. Not furniture for lawmakers, for crying out loud. Ayo.
Thank you very much for linking those stories together. By the way, 4 weeks ago as well, the Sokoto State Governor, Governor Aliyu, had also gone on a visit to the hospitals disguised. The same thing Governor Zulum did, and found the same state, no power, misappropriation of funds, horrible and despicable state of the hospital, and this was, he said he would look into it. We haven't heard anything yet in terms of what he's done. But let's go back to the story with regards to this the mystery of the $800 million from the World Bank. Is it a loan? Is it a facility to help? And if it's a facility to help, and by the way, this explanation was important because of the fact that they were criticized for how expeditiously they had passed passed it in the House. And they said, oh, the reason was because it was not a loan, so Nigeria wasn't going to be plunged into further debt. It was money that had been earmarked to support the removal of subsidy in Nigeria, hence why it was passed. However, they say that there's no free money even in Freetown. I would like to ask the lawmakers to give us details in terms of were there any conditions to this facility that was given to Nigerians, or is it money that was given with no strings attached? We need to be clear, because unfortunately this clarification has even brought up even more questions. We know how the World Bank operates. They are not a charity organization. They often don't go, yes, they might give to further causes like gender parity and the likes, but in terms of bailing countries out, it would be important to understand so that we're clear that is this a loan or is this just goodwill? Then the other part in terms of the money, 70 billion naira, you've said it. In terms of the 8,000 naira, look at that side by side, the money allocated to poor Nigerians, 12 million families, and that is out of, saying it will reach up to 60 million people. That is still shortage of the 133 million Nigerians who are said to be living in multidimensional poverty. Beyond that, you're sharing 70 billion naira to the National Assembly to support the working conditions. They haven't started work yet, at least the 10th National Assembly, in terms of fully said work, and they're getting this largesse of 70 billion naira. It begs to question, because it is not reflective of the state of the nation.
Absolutely
and
not.
That's what people criticize again and again the government for. We're talking about a cut in cost of governance. We need to tighten our belt, but it seems that it's only the people who have to tighten their belt, whilst the National Assembly, members of the House, it's business as usual. It's not business as usual. No. We're saying that things are hard, things are difficult, and therefore they ought to also tighten their belt. Like you mentioned, great recommendation. Let that money, I hope the House of Assembly members themselves morally would speak out against this and say they want to donate the money that is meant to come to them for repairs to hospitals like the ones in Sokoto, like the ones in Borno State, to improve their lot.
Exactly. Well said, Ayo. We don't have enough time for the next story, so I'd like your contribution on both.
No, just a brief clarification.
Okay.
One, the World Bank country director, Dr. Shaduri, last year, or was it this year, made it clear that it is a loan.
I've never heard of
it. The $800 million from the World Bank is a loan.
I mean,
it was approved by the World Bank Board in 2021, in December 2021. It was the Buhari government that applied for it to, provide social safety net, social intervention for Nigerians. And they were specific. This $800 million at that time was meant for this same cash transfer to Nigerian households.
Absolutely.
The World Bank has made it very clear. So, I don't know, this is why people laugh at us.
A whole
senator who speaks for the Senate, he doesn't even know what is going on. Just advertising ignorance. How do these kind of characters get a chance to speak for anybody in any important forum? And when you take money, you will pay. Yeah. Zainab Ahmed, the former Minister of Finance, has made it clear that the World Bank is going to give this money in tranches. In fact, the Buhari administration was planning to write to the Senate for approval, but you know, they held onto it. And that is why it is this Tinubu administration that has not gone ahead to apply to the Senate for its own approval. And I keep telling people, this money, the senators approving it, they have borrowed the money on behalf of all of us. So, and we are the ones who will pay it back.
I want to take Rufai's comment so we can end the show quickly.
You can see how our senators lie to us.
Yeah.
Oji, that thing is as a loan gets, it's a loan. See, it's at interest rates 2.5% for 30 years. That $800 million is at interest rates 2.5% for 30 years. The interest rate was quite low, very concessionary loan, but for 30 years, payment regime at 2.5%. So it's a loan. They should stop deceiving and lying to us.
And we have to pay back. Well, I guess that's all we have. Yes.
It is. Even our grandchildren will need the debts.
This is the problem, and we have to pay back. So this palliative, please, we need to distribute it properly. They need to go to these hospitals and all of these places.
But before they speak, this your government officials. let them at least do small research.
All right. Well, all right.
Just to come and tell us.